A person's values are always instilled in the members of his or her household. Would you agree with that statement? It seems like the Torah does. In this week's Parsha, Parshas Vayeira, we learn that Avraham Avinu, who was in great pain just 3 days after his bris, went out of his way to accommodate guests who were merely passing by. The sages teach us that Avram's love for kindness and guests made such a strong impression that even his son Yishmael ran to help the guests as well. Avram's nephew Lot also learned from Avram, even risking his life later to welcome guests into his own home. So it seems like yes, a person's values are always instilled in the members of his or her household. However, the strange thing is that while Avram seemed to succeed in passing on his ways to his children, Lot did not. His family did nothing to help the guests who needed their help so desperately. How do we understand this? Why was Avram able to so powerfully impact his family, while Lot's family remained completely indifferent, despite his willingness to sacrifice everything for it? When religious Jews first arrived in America, they were faced with a terribly difficult challenge. Virtually all businesses and workplaces were open on Shabbos, and the rule was very clear. Show up on Saturday, my friend, or don't bother coming back on Monday. Many Jews passed this test, working till Friday, getting their paycheck, and then unfortunately having to look for a new job the next week. However, despite their commitment, despite this sacrifice, many of their own children refused to keep Shabbos as they got older. The great Torah sage, Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, was once asked to explain this paradox. He said that although we could never judge them, the fact is that many of those Jews came home each week and sighed, "Oy, it's so difficult to keep Shabbos. But what can we do? A Yid keeps Shabbos." The children who saw this every week concluded that Shabbos is a burden to be avoided at all costs. Had the father said, what a pleasure to sacrifice, what a joy to keep the Shabbos, the results would surely have been very different. You see, children do not merely emulate their parents' values. They emulate the values that are later put into action. Lot may have valued kindness. His family may have even heard him speak about the virtues of hospitality and the greatness of Avraham, but he never had the chance to actually live it, since Sodom unfortunately allowed no guests. Avram, on the other hand, didn't just talk about chesed. He did it, he lived it, and so his family followed his example. This is the Torah view on chinuch, on teaching values. You can't just talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk. Wishing you and yours a Shabbat Shalom u'mevarach.